Morning everyone. Today I want to talk about where to find your dream customer. So it's a Friday morning, and as always Fridays are all things marketing, and this is part 2 in a 4-part series about where, identifying, finding, reaching and connecting with your dream customer. And they're all equally as important, to be honest with you, so I can't say one's more important than the other, but this is hugely important, and it's the topic of where does your dream customer hang out. So if you listened to the episode last Friday, and I think I've done another one as well, where I kind of took you through the journey of the questions you're asking yourself to really get into the mind of who your target customer is. And I created this avatar on the fly, John Delaware, who was this kind of family man. He had a relatively high-powered job. He was kind of earning the upper echelons of kind of 80 to 100k a year, and had to have savings to invest. His money wasn't working hard enough for him. He felt trapped in the rat race, wanted to leave a legacy to his family, and didn't know where he could put his money without the fear of losing it. And this was the target avatar for the Property Empire Investments businesses, which is where we source property investments, where we secure a 10-year government-backed guaranteed lease with a 20% fixed return on investment as a minimum. So that's so he'd be perfect for that type of that business. But today I want to talk about this is more the Dream 100 process. So if you haven't heard of the Dream 100 process before, it's arguably, well, put it in perspective, somebody who I admire immensely is Russell Brunson, and I follow all of his marketing stuff, read all his books. I'm a follower of Russell Brunson, that's for sure. I'm a true fan of his. I've used his products and services. I've paid for various things through his funnels, and he talks about, he does consultancy now, and he charges upper echelons of 100 grand for days consultancy work, because that's the kind of level he plays at now. And he said the first thing he'll do with anybody on a day's consultancy is understand what their goals or milestones are, super important. But then secondly, it would be just Dream 100. And the reason he talks about that is it's also, he also promotes quite often the kind of foremost important things in terms of building a following, and the process you kind of do that. So driving traffic, the four key ways you drive traffic, and they're in this order of importance. Number 1, create regular content yourself. The argument for that is that it's going to be working for you 24/7, until it actually eventually kind of peters down and gets such low traction. But stuff like YouTube, for example, you get some really, really old stuff still churning out crazy amounts of traffic because it's more of an SEO platform. So putting content out every day, or certainly frequently, super important. So that's number 1. Number 2 is Dream 100. And what we mean by that is collaborations. Where can you collaborate? Where does your dream customer hang out? The community groups, other people that they follow. Who can you kind of hack into to reach their followers who are perfect for your kind of product or service that you're offering? So that's the Dream 100. And he talks about that being the second most important thing, and that's what he focuses on when he does consultancy with people. And then number 3 is affiliates. So once you start getting a bit of traction, you start making a few sales, getting an affiliate program is an obvious one, because as long as your product or service is getting good feedback from your existing clients, some of them will convert into true fans, and there will be people that actually promote your product and services for you. For example, Property Empire Investments, we have a property investor who I've known for a long time, and he's actually taken a couple of deals directly, but he's completely bought in to what we're trying to do, and as a result he's out there selling aggressively for us, which is hugely powerful, and we give a 20% commission for each sale he brings in. So hugely important to get a team of affiliates. But 3rd on the list, and then 4th is paid traffic. So when you start doing paid adverts, so Facebook ads, Google AdSense, etc., that's when you start paying, but that's the fourth on the list. So today is all about Dream 100. So the process is you're tasked to find 100 places or 100 people, 100 areas where you're going to be able to connect with your dream consumer or dream customer. And ultimately, if you've done the exercise that I went through with you last Friday about getting into the brain, identifying your dream customer, and really kind of humanizing them, getting into the nooks and crannies of their behaviors, their personality, what they're striving for, family, where do they live, what type of house, what type of area. So you're really trying to put yourself in the mind of that individual, and then all of your marketing material is geared towards that person. Well, the next thing to do is, where does John Delaware hang out? What does he look at? Well, he's got money, so he probably spends. So you might look at kind of holiday clubs, you might look at like fancy watch places like Rolex, things like you might look at brands like that who they could follow. You think he's trying to better his position. I'd probably assume he's not hugely educated in property, otherwise he may have considered doing it himself. So he's probably on the kind of more well-known property groups, but not the kind of more niche ones where it's talking strategy based. Who's he going to follow? Well, if he's in the financial industry, he might be following a lot of the banks. He might be following key business people, because he is a businessman after all. So he might be following people who are preparing for, legacy planning, like pension providers, like financial advisors specialising in inheritance tax or legacy planning. All these types of people that he could be following. So you're kind of racking your brains to find out all the different websites where that traffic's going. You're looking at all the different people who are following, who you can kind of hack some of their traffic. Community groups are huge. So he's got kids, so he might be in fatherhood groups, for example. There might be groups associated with providing for your children, or providing a secure future for your children. That's his number one aim. He wants to pass legacy down to his next generation and generation after that. So find Facebook groups, that you can kind of hack into, and you can start gradually bringing people over to your own world. So 100% you want to be looking at places like that. Anyway, you can get free traffic. It's huge, and there's lots of cool little hacks you can do. Once you've identified this list, I can go through some of the more specifics on how you can kind of hack it for as cheap as possible, because ultimately you have to spend, but spending is when you've got an ROI and you've got a return, you don't mind spending. When you're spending in the dark or blindly, that's why I try and get your organic strategies in place first, and then go into your paid spaces. So it's really, really important just to really hack, go through your mind, and it might take you a long time, but the idea is that once you've established 100 different people, look at podcasts. What podcasts would you be listening to? If you're building your own brand, for example, like who can we collaborate with? Who can we do joint interviews with, where we're getting out to their audience, where John is going to be in their audience? So it's all these types of questions, and a lot of collaborations. You're going to be reaching out to 100 different places to try and form some collaborations. It's highly likely it's going to be an incredibly low conversion rate. But the reason it's called the Dream 100 is you may only need one person who says, yeah, I'll collaborate with you, and has a joint interest in what you're doing, and that can be enough to change your business overnight. That's why it's called the Dream 100. So you can aim high or aim big with people that have got massive audiences, but you generally want to be looking at people that are more a similar size to yourself. If you're just getting started and you want people that are one level up or one or two levels up, if you go too far, it's worth putting them on the list, but I wouldn't expect much of a response, because they're always going to be looking at, well, what's in it for me? And if you're you're not able to provide them with something, then it's unlikely they're going to collaborate. You will get the odd person who'll be kind of charitable, will see you as a bit of charity, see you as a bit of giving back, and that's amazing if you're lucky enough to unearth one of those. But it's a really important exercise, and it's one that you want to give a lot of time to. So even if it's a day, 2 days, just doing this exercise, it's time well spent, as long as you're actioning that list and reaching out to everybody on it, or every place on it, every website, every person. Look at products as well. Products are another one. You know, products generally have their social accounts. So as long as somebody's got a social account or website, they've got traffic, and you need to find a way that you can tap into that traffic, ideally through collaboration. But you can always get to those people who aren't collaborating with you through paid advertising further down the line. So that's why it's super important. So I hope this has been useful. Hopefully I've given you enough to kind of go at here. It is a difficult one to kind of teach pure and simply because I've given you the differences. You're looking at products, you're looking at people, you're looking at companies. Okay, they're the kind of three things. You're looking at community groups, you're looking at websites, anywhere else where your potential target market may hang out. Okay, you can even go old school and do offline stuff like notices in, I don't know, lucrative flying groups or something. You know, you could go down that route, but it's highly likely that all these places will have some form of social presence or website, so it makes it more efficient to focus on your online activities, but don't disregard the offline as well. So the aim of this topic today is to brainstorm 100 different places, people, websites, community groups, products that are going to be very relevant to your dream customer. Okay, and then the next part of the process is reaching out to everybody, all the websites, all the community groups, and trying to form some form of collaboration. Some of them you won't have to do, like a lot of free Facebook groups you can just join, and as long as you're posting value, you can indirectly attract some organic traffic from those Facebook groups. But you want to be looking at ones that are sizable enough. So 100 people, places, products, websites, community groups, etc. on the list. Not 100 of each. If you get really good, you can do 100 of each. But start with just get to 100 of any of those categories, and then you're going to formulate a plan to reach out to each and every one of them to collaborate. And it might be, if you've got a bit of a following yourself, then you're in a slightly stronger position because you can offer something back. If you haven't, you're asking for help, or you know, you've got to pay for the help, or you're trying to find some creative way that you can give back to them. You know, i.e. that, you know, your growing brand, maybe they buy into the fact that they just give you a little punt now, you'll put their logo or branding on your stuff, and they're going to get hopefully the benefit of that in the future. That could be a way, but you've just got to be creative here. Some people give gifts, lots of different things you can do. Some people buy in to their products and services and become a client, then ask for the favours. So there's lots of different ways you can do this, but obviously a lot of people will have a budgetary restriction that they need to work within. So that's really, really key. And all you're looking to do, if you get 1 or 2% conversion rate, that can be enough to revolutionise and springboard your business to the next level if you do this right. So that's hopefully helpful for today's episode. As always, if you've got any questions on this stuff, drop me a comment, I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll just inform you that I'll do a separate vlog episode and I'll tag you in. If it's not for you and it's cluttering up your social feeds or it's relevant to you, then just unfriend, unfollow me, there's no problem there. But before you do go, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Runpreneur, whereby all of my 165 episodes or so and counting, going up one a day, are catalogued nice and neatly in playlists, and the full feature-length version of each type are in there. Also, make sure you're in the Facebook group as well, Runpreneur, because that's where the free resources from the vlog are going to be hosted. So make sure you get there so that you can get to capture all that free stuff, which will hopefully be really useful to you as well. And all the other platforms will just be snippets and and slightly different content, which will be promoting the YouTube channel ultimately. So just to let you know how it's kind of going from a strategy perspective. But that's it for me today. As always, the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs, small business owners overcome stress, anxiety, overwhelm by using exercise as a mechanism to control, manage and thrive under these emotions that every entrepreneur and small business owner experiences. The difference between success and failure is often how well the entrepreneur manages these pressures. And if you don't manage them well, one or two things will happen. One, the entrepreneur will break down. Two, the business will break down. Either or is going to be terminal to the success of your business moving forwards. It already is a damning stat that 1 in 10 businesses will last the test of time. And I personally believe, and there's enough evidence to back this up, that entrepreneurial overwhelm, stress, anxiety are major contributors to why that stat is so alarmingly low. So my pledge to you is if anybody's going through this and they don't have a way of releasing these emotions, drop me a message. Okay, this isn't a sale, nothing like that at all. I'll jump on a call with you and we'll try and put together a bit of a roadmap on how you can manage these emotions and thrive under them. I've had lost businesses because of these emotions myself, and I know what it's like being rock bottom. But now, since I've kind of found running and this way to kind of manage these pressures, I've got 6 businesses I run now. I've never had 6 simultaneously that I'm running. I'm busier than ever, but it's completely under control. I feel completely on point, and the progress I'm making is phenomenal, which is really, really cool. So hopefully I'm well placed to help you. So don't be afraid to drop me a message. So that's it for me today. As always, I'll leave you with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.